When you realize that you've been looking outside yourself for the answers, it's kind of eye-opening. And I really encourage you to take some time of where you've been perhaps not just seeking mentorship or learning, but actually a solution.
This is the Born to be Brilliant podcast, helping you harness the habits and unlock the tools to bring you more meaning, vibrance, and the personal power to help you shine like the diamond you are.
Hey, we're living in a time right now where there's so much noise, let's just face it. I speak to people every day who tell me how they can't handle the Facebook group or the WhatsApp group, as it seems to be more now, or than just the noisiness. And if you're building a business at this point in time, you'll know what I mean. It's everywhere you turn. And because everyone is online now, so even if you own a bricks and mortar business, you're going to have an online presence and you're going to use online things as part of your business. So the digital world is a noisy one. We all know that. But the thing that's doing to us is something I think we're not always spotting, which is it's forming some kind of, belief, even if it's not a chosen belief. It's sort of conditioning us that answers are out there. And of course, you can learn a lot out there. There are some fantastic people who create really great and useful trainings and offer good talks and insights. I'm one of them that will help, that are useful. But I think the difference is between, the difference between what I do and lots of people like me do, and the noise. If you're consuming noise, it's all like fighting with each other. So if you think of it like this, you could be looking at content on social media, or you could be at an event where there's loads of speakers that have paid to be there. And you'll find that everyone's fighting for their thing to be heard because they need to sell their thing to you, because that's how they make their money. And I've been at these events. I've been there as a audience member, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel completely and utterly drained because I've just experienced all these different people really just poo-pooing everyone else's thing and claiming that their thing is the thing and the thing you really need. And so you're left there thinking, well, none of this is cohesive because the speaker before said, don't do this, do this. And then this person's just said the absolute opposite. I'm confused. And an event organizer, I think, has the duty of care to its audience, to whom it has sold the tickets, to provide a cohesive, helpful, energizing and empowering message and environment, not one that is so kept inside the club between the organizers, the speakers and the money and the transactions that it's completely ignored the end user, the audience member, the person who really fuels the whole thing anyway. And it's ignored their needs and left them feeling drained and sometimes a bit annoyed. So, I've talked about that in a previous episode about events and speaking, and that's a whole nother conversation. But you get this with social media as well. And let's face it, the more lost you are, the more you scroll. If you're busy, you're not scrolling. Okay, sometimes we'll hop onto a social media platform because we are looking for a particular piece of information or something about a particular person or something that we've seen and we're just trying to find it. But that's the vortex. I don't think I can go onto Facebook on my desktop to find a thing I need. It might be like where a venue is or an event. It could be anything. Like go in there administratively looking for a thing, and the next thing you know, I'm lost in the vortex. And I'm disciplined. So it's really hard not to do that. And the platforms are designed that way on purpose. We know that. But usually, if you are on a schedule, if you have a mission, if you have structured your time accordingly, you have very little time to just be mindless scrolling. And if you do have the time, I think I'd rather go on an online shopping site and browse clothes. I feel like that's less damaging to, well, maybe not to the bank balance, but definitely to my brain. So I think you've got to be really mindful, because the more lost you are, the more vulnerable you are, and the more susceptible you are to scrolling and consuming so many mixed messages that you're just left more confused, feeling more inferior. Comparisonitis is off the scale, self-worth is in the pits, and you won't have even consciously made those connections. You may not have even thought about that until I've just said it now, but it won't be a conscious thing. You don't finish scrolling after half an hour and go, oh, well, now I feel like this and this because of this and this. It's like, you just don't. You just have there's just an ick going on, and there's something at energetic level going on, and actually it's those things. And this is why, kids can't tell that stuff's happening to them, because you can talk about it and they'll be like, no, I don't feel like that. And it's like, of course you don't think you are. It's not a conscious thought. You haven't intellectually decided you feel that way. It's way deeper at a body level. And so all the noise and all of this stuff leaves us, especially if we don't have everything where we want it to be, which most people don't, by the way. And this doesn't mean like when you make a certain amount of money, this is all done and dusted. If you're listening to this and you make multiple 7 figures, 8 figures, it honestly doesn't matter. You won't likely have all of this all wrapped up in a beautiful bow in your lifetime. It's a constant work, which is why you have miserable billionaires and you have broken people with a lot of money, because money isn't the answer. It's just a one of the, what I call like the rich life elements: money, time, relationships, health and happiness, or inner peace. They're the 5 pillars that, to me, if all of those cups are full, you feel fulfilled. But the goal isn't to make those cups all full all the time. I think that's pretty tall order, but it's just to be aware of where you're depleted and what needs refueling. So my point is, this doesn't go away just because you make more money, or because the stress or pressure of earning a certain amount is now not your thing. It will be another thing. We've always got to look at which areas of life we are already rich in and keep them there and keep nurturing them, and look at the ones where we don't feel as where we are so rich in, maybe we're not rich in health, maybe aren't rich in relationships. So look at the whole, which is what whole performance is all about. So when we consume all of this noise and confusion, it will also have the effect of the answer is outside of you, which is wrong. It actually isn't. But when we're going round and round in circles, we're going to think it is, because, oh, look, I just saw this person doing this thing, so it's outside of me because they have it, so, and I don't, so what did they do? You're placing it outside of you when you're seeking it anywhere else. However, let me be clear, because this can be mistaken for you have to figure it all out yourself, and that is not what I'm saying, and I don't believe that to be true at all. I think we need the right types of help and support and guidance all the time, but that doesn't mean it's the answer. It's not the antidote. It's not the magic fix. So the solution may be within, but to get to the solution, you may need to learn a skill. You may need to have somebody to bounce off of. You may need community. You may need coaching. You may need to practice something, like physically. You may be, it's just like the whole exercise thing, you may be really, really good at doing that yourself and not need anything external. The only external thing that I use is the programs I follow, which I open up on my phone. So I need my phone. And that's what keeps me doing it. But that doesn't do it for me. It's not magic. So I can subscribe to the program and it's on my phone. But just because I paid the money and I subscribe isn't going to get me fit. I have to wake up, I have to get dressed, and I have to press play, and then I have to follow it and move my body. So the solution lies with me, but the tool is the program. So in the same sense that for some that would be a PT, right? They wouldn't follow the program, but they're like, oh, I'll get a PT. But you don't hire a PT to work with you for an hour or so a week or whatever, and then go, I've paid them. Great, now I can just sit here and do nothing and it will magically get fit. It's like, no, you've got to show up to the session. You've got to go to it. You've got to listen to what they tell you and then perform those moves. Like the actual solution is in the implementation that only you can do. And maybe there's a physical barrier that you need to overcome. Maybe there's a mental barrier that you need to overcome. But that's still an internal thing. It's always an internal thing that will actually get to the solution. So answers to problems are ultimately inside of you. Stepping stones, tools, and support to draw them out of you or to get you to move on them. That's where you get resourceful and look at what do you need? What do you need to then help with that? And I want to just sort of debunk the argument as well of like, oh yeah, but you need money to access those things. It's like, yes, it helps. It does, because with money you can buy better exercise stuff. You can buy more nutritious foods. You can, yes, of course, it always helps, but it doesn't mean it's a barrier. Like there are lots and lots of things that money will make easier, but you can always work with what you've got until you've got more of that. So I want no excuses. Like I can't, because it's like, what have you got? What can you work with right now? Work with what you've got, layer things on top, and piece by piece, it will come together. It's just one foot in front of the other, bit by bit. So right now, if you're feeling stuck, you're probably highly susceptible to all the noise around AI. It might be that you're like, okay, I need to learn this thing with AI. It may be strategy. You might go, need a new strategy. It could be, these tactics are, this person did this thing. I've seen 3 people now that have done that thing. That must be the thing I need to do. Quick, throw out my plans and now follow that. Like grappling around because of all of these sounds that are coming at you that are either explicitly or not so explicitly, more subtly saying that you need to do this. This is what you should be doing. This is what's working now. You've got to wise up and know that every single one of those things is true and every single one of those things is false, because it's all perception based. It's all nuanced. It's like that person is absolutely right for them and maybe for some people, maybe not for you. So it's not a blanket, you need to do this. It's a here's one way. And then the same for every other thing out there as well. You could be grappling and you could be trying all the things and getting nowhere and spinning your wheels, or you could be paralyzed. And this is the other thing it can do, is it can create a complete paralysis of, oh wait, I can't keep up with all the stuff. I'm now trying to juggle too many things. I'm trying to work on so much stuff on myself that I'm now feeling like I'm really not, good enough. And then in goes the self-worth stuff, and you're paralyzed and you're feeling rubbish. And that is one of the sort of paradoxes of high performance as well. It is that completely paralyzed by all the things, and then reduce self-worth because you're not keeping up with the bar you set for yourself. When you realize that you've been looking outside yourself for the answers, it's kind of eye-opening. And I really encourage you to take some time, after this episode, or press pause now if you want to just go into some thought for a moment, but of where you've been perhaps not just seeking mentorship or learning, but actually a solution. Let's take an easy one like money, because it's a tangible thing to get your head around. You want to earn a certain amount per month. Where have you been putting that bank balance going up on something outside of you? Where have you been either blaming it, like it could be like, oh, well, the industry this, or the economy that, or, buyers aren't doing this or that. It's like, They probably are. Nearly all the time, with all the people there are in this world, it's very unusual for there to be a particular market that is like, yeah, no, that is dead, or that is saturated, or that is. So that is usually an excuse. So let's overcome that one. And instead of looking for, that's just blaming, that's just victimhood. Let's go one step up and let's actually look for something that's going to help. But what I want you to do with this is look at what will help you to do, be, have, achieve the thing. What will help you to do that, not what will do that for you, because that's the problem. That's the problem. We all think that course, or that's a classic one, that certification. Like, why? Do a certification because you want the knowledge. Do a certification because the learning is going to be really valuable and you want the knowledge. Not that you want the stamp. Not that you want the, I mean, that's very different in corporate and in other professions, but in entrepreneurship, it's not really. Because if you just want the stamp, why? It's like you will need to prove something, but to who? Oh, wait, to potential customers. Why? Does that mean they're going to buy from you? Promise you, if they're not buying from you now, they're not going to buy from you with that either. Not in entrepreneurial world. Like there are yes, nuances. There are some industries where there are valid things like that, but you probably didn't get this far without essential things anyway. So do a training or a certification because the knowledge and the skill upgrade is going to really support you and what you do. But it's got to be a thing that helps you, not a thing that you're expecting is going to just magically make it happen. Once we manage to do this, we stop then outsourcing the answers. And then we start, this is where the magic happens, we start trusting. We start trusting ourselves. We start trusting our own judgment. We trust our decisions. And we trust the path we're following, like the goal we're going for, the clarity of what it is we're even doing it all for. Once you come out of that confusion and you can start to do that level of self-trust leads to more self-worth, which leads to more self-confidence. And those things are different, but they all fuel each other. And with that, so much amazing stuff can happen and become unlocked for you. So if you want more on this, we are, as this episode airs, we are like 3 days away from the Business by the Beach event in Bournemouth, which I'm speaking at. I would love for you to come along to that. So I will put a link in the show notes, although you may catch this episode after that event, in which case go and check out all the content on that and look out for the next event. And I also would love to invite you to explore eSchool. Entrepreneur School is something I've built with so much passion. It's been probably a decade in the making. Like the ideas and the thoughts have been a long time forming, but I actually feel like I have waited until nearly 3 decades of entrepreneurial lived experience, which actually I feel means I can pour so much more wisdom into eSchool and share that with everybody. But it's not just a training ground. Yes, there are lots of walkthroughs and how-tos in there, but you also have an entire online business platform, weekly calls with me, community. Like it's literally everything I wished I could have had, but everything I know that you need. So whether, one day you're looking at how to build something on with tech, and the next day you're looking at how to work on something completely to do with your psychology or your physiology, it's all there. Anyway, you can check out the link and go and have a little look at eSchool. But right now we are open to founding members, and it's an absolute steal. It's literally just £37 a month for everything. And the tech platform alone, you wouldn't find for less than about 90, 100 or £100 per month. So anyway, more about that in the link. You can go and have a little look at that. But what I want you to understand is this whole point of what I'm talking about is exactly why I created eSchool, because eSchool will give you what you need when you need it. The whole performance framework, the pieces that you need to draw upon, because it isn't the same from one day to the next. And yes, you can, and I encourage that you do at the right time, when you have the right funds for the right reasons, seek expert support in one or another thing, or to get you and help you to drive yourself and your business forward. But to sit underneath all of that, or if you're in the earlier stages, it may be the only way to have all of that in one place, like a friendly business bestie that's going to hold your hand and guide you and go, oh, here's how you do that. Oh, here's the shortcut for that. And, here's a tool for this. It's like, it just makes life so much easier, removes the overwhelm, keeps you on a clear path to turn all of that magic you've got inside you, all of that impact that you're here to make, into something truly magnificent that the world actually gets to see and hear, and it's not just a best kept secret behind your laptop. So please don't wander around lost in the fog and consume so much noise that you are either paralyzed or you are putting all of your solutions outside of you somewhere, because the answers actually are in you. And I would love for you to be in my world, where we will, bit by bit, we'll draw them out of you and bring them to the surface so that you hold the keys to your success, to your business, and to your whole life that feels rich in every sense of the word. Until next time, guys, you take care. You really were born to be brilliant.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and remember, go out there and shine your light bright, because you were born to be brilliant.